And
Welcome
he's
back,
muted again.
everybody,
Oh.
to the podcast. We've been trying to get going here a couple times. I've done the good old Japanese TV show where I was just speaking, and these guys were like, "Hey, Gabe, you're muted." So it just shows that it doesn't matter how many times we do this. We don't prep. I can tell you guys that it's about 6:40 now. I think we put this thing together maybe 30 minutes ago. I sent out some. I was talking to Matt on the phone. I was like, let's just do a podcast real quick. We're all kind of free. And this is kind of what we're all about. So don't forget, hit the subscribe, like, and share. We're going to have the Jam Racing page at the bottom as well, which is more of the vlog style. But here we discuss a lot of kind of what's going on in racing, a lot of our experiences. It doesn't mean that we're right or we're wrong. It's just how we feel at times. And we're going to jump right into it. What just, coming off the heels of the weekend for us in four cycle racing, which is the Grand Nationals, right? We do a lot of CKNA events throughout the year. Everybody does. But this is the one. It doesn't matter what you win there. You got to win the big one, right? So I've been up there twice. Miguel's been up there twice. I think this was the second time for Matt as well. But Jorge, this is like your sixth time going up to the Grands?
I've been to every Grand since they started this Grand stuff.
So, and did you finally feel like you have maybe conquered the Grands a little bit?
No, I think this year is probably the year I had, other than that year we went with Chad, right? You guys remember that year that cart was stupid fast? It's probably the first time since then that I felt I had a cart that could run up front in the dry. I didn't ever have to rely on the rain to get me up to the positions I need to get in. It was pure speed. Don't get me wrong, I worked on that Joker, but now I have the setup that I can go run anywhere if I stop bending hubs and axles. But I think I figured that out this last
session. Are you
session.
going to be sharing that setup as well, or?
So what I learned most this weekend is
Take notes.
the setup doesn't matter. Like as in like it doesn't matter. Like two setups don't work the same. MGM's like an open book, and Eric Fagan's like an open book, which kind of pisses me off because he's so fast. He gives me a setup, and he knows that I can probably put the same setup in, but still not run the same lap times. So he's super nice dude, and that's just me thinking he's probably like this guy. He's like, I can give him everything I want. He's still ain't gonna catch me. But I couldn't run his setup, so I couldn't run the same setup as any other MGM that I talked to. I have a stupid hard axle. Everybody knows I cut the crap out of my hard axle. I found the hardest axle I could find from CRG, thanks to Camp Chaos. I cut the crap out of that. Put it like the max width I could do with the hubs barely on was like 52.5 inches. And I didn't run any caster in the cart. I did not like the caster in the cart at all. Everybody else ran caster. Some people ran caster. Some people didn't run caster. I just didn't like it for me. And then, I didn't run. I usually run tons of negative camber, but I found out that I didn't like the negative camber either. So cart stayed real free. Our cart was real fast. Just got cut up in like a DRS train. I said it was just a pack of 8 of us stuck front nose to tail, and I didn't want to be a dick. I didn't want to be like full send mode dick, but then by lap
He is
3,
getting old.
Yeah, by lap 3 I got pissed off, and I started to make passes where I knew I was much quicker. They had a lower gear, so they would yank down the straightaway pretty good. And then by turn 5, I would run through 5 so hard that towards the end of the race, I was barely doing a slight lift, maybe a slight drag of the brake, if that, and running through 5 and going to 6, 7, that double right-hander stupid tight. So I would get an amazing run out of 6, 7, and that tight left-hander I would dive bomb in and get a good run on the way out. So after that, I just started just going to basically all my passes happened in 8 in the scoreboard. I could just get some really good runs and then just put a little bit elbows out, open up my hands, run my line, and get some passes done. So, I passed that card of 8, and then I started tracking down the group in front of me. This is all in the finals, the group in front of me, which is another pack of 5. So maybe 2 more laps, top 15 would have been doable. Not popping the chain because I got rammed in heat 2. That would have put me so far back for the final qualifying because I went from 47th to 25th in heat 3. So cart definitely was hooked up. Yeah, and I made a slight mistake in qualifying myself, but cart was just fast. I made
What was that mistake?
full fucking send mode.
Okay.
Someone told me that you didn't have to lift in a corner, and I was like, I would all weekend I had to do a slight lift, and then I ate the curb too much, and there's a dip. There's a big dip before Monza, left-hander. So I nailed that dip and bent the hub. Other than that, I could have sworn that probably would have been a top 5 qualifying spot. Easy. Alfano was reading 6/10 quicker that lap because I had just sniffed the draft of the 2 in front of me.
So it was pulling you. Like you were getting dragged up.
Yeah.
Prior to that, he was sitting P2 in his group right behind JD, and he was hauling. And the last lap, he just went too hard.
Yeah, which I should not take my advice sometimes.
You decided to run. You decided to run with the big boys, right? So when I mean the big boys, the little boys, and not the masters, not the seniors, like what we call the real guys, right? So this time you're running the medium class, correct?
Yeah,
which is full of dogs. I mean that class is just full of monsters.
Matt's going back to heavy.
You know? So how did the weekend go for you?
I knew I was jumping in the deep end. I've been running heavy since I got back into karting, and I lost some weight, and I was like, you know what? Rather than strapping lead on, let's run the big boy class, the premier class, and see where I can stack myself up. Was chasing my tail for 2 days, just trying to get the kart comfortable for me. And didn't pull it together until the heat started on Saturday. Kart was consistent on Saturday. I gained a couple spots here and there. After they racked up the points, I came out 48th, which was literally 4 spots shy of making the final. And then in the LCQ, I ran I was the 3rd fastest kart in the LCQ. My lap time in the LCQ would have put me easily in the top 10 in the final. Just guys that don't evaluate the situation around them, and guy just could have slotted back in line, but decided he wanted to door me going up the hill and ramped over the front of his cart, dropped me from 4th to 7th, drove back to 6th, and I missed the final by 1 spot.
Yeah, fucked. All right, that's the easy way to say it.
Yeah.
Yeah, he said it in a nice way.
He said it in a
nice
way. Guys, it's no. No, he got fucked. Right?
Dancing around it.
That's just a that's a nice way of saying.
Those LCQs suck.
Yeah, Miguel was in Charlotte.
They are angry.
I wasn't one in Charlotte.
Those are angry. LCQs are angry. So if you ever
LCQs suck because you don't know if you're gonna make it, and 2, you gotta wake up earlier than everybody else for the next morning.
Oh, I know.
And that's the only bad thing too.
The 8:30 LCQ warm up was the worst thing I've ever done. Because you already have the nerves of not knowing if you're going to make the race, and then you have to warm up at 8:30 in the morning for your 9:30 LCQ. So
everybody's still sleeping.
Yeah,
I know.
So looking at some of the winners here. So in Legends, winner for the weekend. I know we had James was running Legends.
P2?
I think he was trying to repeat from last year, if I remember correctly.
He finished P2 last
he finished
year.
P2. So Ryan Cassidy.
Yeah, Ryan Cassidy, dude, that guy
on fire.
That's the first time I've seen him race in real life, and the rumors are true. That guy's a monster.
That guy's
not stature wise, the guy's a midget.
Pretty fast.
Driving wise, he's a freaking monster. Driving wise, holy crap.
We don't talk much about Kid Kart on here, but Parker Stewart taking the P1 in the final. Senior medium, Mike Gabriel went ahead and took that one. Who took the race and Masters, Jorge? It looks like Eric Fagan.
Eric Fagan.
So
he
won 2. So he won 2 classes.
He swept heavy and Masters. The guy's super nice too.
What class did you run, Jorge?
I ran Masters.
You ran Masters.
Yeah, super nice. Super nice guy. Hands down. I walk up to him like, hey, do this, and this. Let me know how it goes. I was like, all right. So I go try it out. I'm like, well, it didn't really work out. It worked out. Some of it worked out, some of it didn't.
And then over on Sportsman, Isaac, and I'm gonna kill his last name. My apologies, Malkut. I don't know if you guys.
That was close.
What? Yeah.
Yeah, that was close.
How you say his last name?
Malkut. Yeah. That's it.
All right, I got one right for
yeah.
So So man, so big win over the weekend. Eric Fagan, I think I think 206 is one of those only classes that pretty much almost, I don't want to say worldwide, but the senior drivers as well as the heavy drivers and masters, everybody's still very competitive, right? And then and just because you're in masters and you're just because you're in heavy doesn't mean that you can't shake it up with the young kids. I think that's something that the four cycle does, the engine package of the Briggs. Because I again, sometimes I feel like if Fagan can make that senior class, I'm not sure what type of shape he's in, but I think that he would do he would do great. No.
Yeah, he's a medium. He's not that big. He's like maybe 180 pounds.
Like
I don't know.
I
I could size him up. He's a little bit smaller than me.
like I will say there's a lot of masters drivers who can run medium and can run those classes and be competitive. But this weekend, man, the
They
medium light
avoid it
classes
for the
were
type of
just-
racing and medium and light.
Yeah, but
That's
this weekend alone, the medium and the lights were 112s, 113s. That's where you had to be.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and I don't want
lights
to
were
I don't want to
low.
cut you
Lights
off there,
were
but just to
low
make sure in
112s
the
too.
senior light feature, obviously it was Jordan Pryor, Colin Warren, always there, no matter what. He could be 6 months out of the cart, shows up, always running up front. And then Dylan, obviously he's one of our boys. Finished P3 for the weekend there.
Yeah, that was
But
a
man,
good positioning by Jordan to take the win. I think he was sitting fourth when that turn came up.
Yeah, they
It
all
was just
shuffled.
it just got shot. I think Mick was in the lead at that point, and it was just that was a really close race, and it came down to a last corner pass basically. That was a really good positioning by him to be in the mix right when he wasn't he was quick, but his cart would come in certain parts of the race. I don't know, it was weird,
so
but he would just be there, but not there.
so he drove a smart race, which is what you're saying. He wasn't.
Yeah, same thing in the medium class. The top three, they really stayed nose to tail the whole race. The two behind them were moving too. Don't get me wrong, they were moving and catching him. And that last lap shuffle battle, things got a little hairy and brought that pack into a bigger pack.
Yeah, the
From what I
medium
can
just
see.
got
The le-
pretty wild.
Yeah, the Legends probably was the smartest racing I've seen. But there are Legend guys; they're stupid smart. And like you said, Ryan Cassidy can run Legends and then drop down the Masters and still be in the top five. And then Perkins as well was running up front. And I know Eli Yanko would have been able to run up front too, the
Yes,
Russian
sir.
rocket. So definitely, that was the smartest racing. Those three just sat nose to tail and pushed the whole race. I think they made one little move at the very, very end, and that was it. But that's the smart racing part. Why they win with such a big gap? Because they didn't fight the whole time.
But that's 206, right? That's 206 for you. If you spend the first 2-3 laps of a race fighting, trying to get up front, your race is done. Like that's it. So you got to be smart. You got to pick your spots. And that's what we do. And talking about moving to the front, special shout out to Phil Pignatello. He was over in Spain over the weekend as well, competing in the Tillotson World Championship. And he did really well. He represented. He had a little bit of bad luck. We also like to call that Phil luck. I kind of be, sometimes I'm the receiving end of those, but it's fine.
Hey, he just got to know now. It don't matter where he goes, he's going to get run over. It's either here in Florida or in Spain.
Yeah, Jesus Christ, man. Just get used to it, all right?
Yeah. He might as well start wearing shoulder pads. Like he's about to play a football game at this point. He's going to get run over.
It was ridiculous. And the funny thing is,
that sucks though. That's a long ride. I mean, you guys had a long ride, Andy, but flying to Spain to get run over. But it's like I should have stayed in Florida for this shit.
Let's cut you off. I'm going to segment into the next portion of this thing real quick. Phil is stupid fast, but he shows up. I think pictures of the cart in pieces. Like you got to put the cart together. His setup, I don't know. I think all the motors are just handed to him that day, and sometimes we're like, how the fuck is he so fast, right? Like something has to be up, right? We're always like,
Tater.
Exactly. This son of a bitch is cheating.
He does it again.
He does it again. What the Spain with this cheater, just cheatingness.
So Phil and Perkins
Oh
are
my
always
God.
known, and they do this all the time, right?
They
So
cheat
it's
all the time. I hate
practice and
those guys.
qualifying the whole first day. Yeah, I can't figure it out. I don't know. You boys got it this time. A second and a half off. I tried new tire. Every excuse. Tried new tires. I've tried this. I put an axle. Then they take the carts, not change anything, park them. Then they go work on other shit, right?
Yeah.
Because Phil's usually working with
Phil's a tuner for Benkins.
Bennick.
Bennick. He's a tuner for Bennick, so he's tuning that. And then Perkins is running around crazy tuning for Jed.
You know, and
literally come off the track and push the cart to the side.
Yeah. And then all of a sudden, here they come for our qualifyings, right? Here they come. They push up P1. And you're like,
yeah, 6/10 faster than Freed. I'm like, these sons of.
Yeah.
Tire prep.
Hot lap.
Yeah. So, yeah. You know, I will say this, right? So I will say this, and shit is what it is, right? So when we're here, this is a good platform. We like to have a good time. When shit happens, sometimes people overreact. Sometimes people like to bring shit without knowing facts and things like that. So I don't have any facts. I don't have any right information. Some people know more than I do, which is great. But please don't take something that one person, or even something that we say at times, and take that shit so personal that you can affect someone's business for no reason. That's all that I'm going to say. Okay. You got some other business owners within the karting community out there that for some reason having to build vendettas against everybody in the community without realizing it. And at some point it's going to catch up to them because no one's going to run that chassis. So, but I'll leave it at that's my piece with that. That's where I'm going to leave it. If you guys want to chime in, you're more than welcome to. It is what it is.
Nope, I ain't saying shit because last time I said shit, 2 people showed up to Orlando that were not supposed to be there. So I didn't say a goddamn thing. Nope. If anybody knows, I have been the quietest motherfucker, other than our group text. And none of y'all, everybody outside of the group text can't see anything. So nope,
now,
I ain't fucking saying a damn
with
thing.
some positives, Orlando throwing a money race.
Don't mention that. Don't mention that either. Because people show up. People will show up. Don't mention that shit either.
Hold up, Gabe. Stop. No. Pump your brakes. We're going to give us the rest of the chance. Matt, would you like to say something about the situation? Jesus, Gabe just jumps the freaking gun.
It's my show. It's my show.
And Gabe's show. Gabe's show. Oh, we have Oprah Gabe.
Yeah. Yeah, Matt, go ahead. What you got to say?
You get prep. You get prep. You get prep.
Here's the thing.
No.
When you're in the front of the field every single race, there's always going to be questions, right?
Exactly.
Always going to be questions. There's always going to be some sort of doubt. There is a way to be able to clear that doubt without putting yourself in a situation to look worse than you already do. Certain people take that opportunity and show the cards and say, listen, we're just good. This is what we do. And there's certain people who purposely just get shadier and shadier as it gets closer to them because of the fact that there may or may not be doing something sketchy.
But I might disagree with you on that.
Okay, I can see that. That's a good point on both. I can see that. Some people, I'm an open book, right? I try not to say anything. I try. I don't want Paul to get mad at me and be like, don't be giving away setup shit. That's why, I mean, you can come to the 10. I'll give everything away. But I'm just saying, like, I'm not saying he'll ever get mad. I don't know. To be honest, I don't give a crap. So,
excuse me.
But you're right. Some people want, because they might have found it and they don't want to give it all away. Like, there's sometimes I feel like I open my mouth, I give way too much. And I was like, now the competition's there.
Ask Miguel.
I should have kept that. But there's one thing I've never ever said. What's the one thing I've never ever said or given away? I've never
just hook up to your father. Who fucking cares?
No, I've never. I've never given up my rain setup or what I do for the rain. I've never.
The rain master.
I can't wait. I can't wait to find that shit out. I'm gonna write it out to everybody and share.
That's the thing. I've never given that away, and that's the one thing I keep like close to my heart. I do something with gearing. I change my gearing up, and I change the whole card up. and I used to tell people I don't do shit. Same thing on the vlogs, man. You guys don't think I fucking clean my clutch or look at? That's just me saying stuff.
But you don't, Jorge.
He did this weekend. He did.
He did. But I'm gonna take history. I'm gonna take history, right? I'm gonna take history, right? And Jorge doesn't. And I'm being honest. Like Jorge would literally show up at the track in a cart in pieces, take pieces off of somebody's cart to put together just so he could race.
I still did that this week, and I stole like I borrowed like my cart was like it was TB, CRG, and MGM. Like I threw
it was just a
together.
combination of shit. It was
and it worked.
to kind of get back to what we were saying. There was a driver this weekend that gave a couple drivers under our tent some ideas. Guy dropped 1.4 seconds. Was running in the top 10 in senior medium. As soon as the driver figured out that the tip that he was given, that he gave out, helped this driver get fast, sent them in the final.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Wait a second. Hold on.
That sounds like some
time out. Because that's spicy. That shit's spicy. So somebody has a driver under the tent.
I didn't wreck anybody.
Jorge, you weren't.
Matt was
I'm trying to
hashtag Matt was safe this year.
lucky we're running.
Thank God I wasn't running Matt.
Yeah, exactly. I'm like Matt.
So someone got real sour about the setup they gave him actually worked and made him. See, that's happened to me too. Dylan does it to me all the time. Every time I beat him, he brings out old blue. So I can see.
I think old blue's dead.
Yeah, old blue. I think is dead.
I think he's dead. I think the new. He loves the.
No, don't say that. Don't say that. If old blue's dead, bring it on out.
Too much. He loves the new card. Oh my, he's a lot. Oh my god, the card's so fast.
Yeah,
you know, and this weekend, it goes back to where we talked about on the last podcast.
Man, I really gotta know.
Everybody, I mean, you look at every chassis manufacturer, you know, OTK was up there, CRG was running at the front, Odie was running at the front. So I don't think there was anybody that you could really say that, hey, they didn't have any drivers up front or anything like that. So it just shows that
every chassis was up front.
Any chassis with the right parts from another manufacturer can run at the front. So it is possible.
Especially if it's on back order from Italy.
I will say this weekend by far had the most parity across the board when it came to chassis.
Well, yeah.
MGM did well. OTK did well.
Yeah, who ran? So I don't know who. Kid Car. I don't know who won in Kid Car. But what was Sportsman? Trackside?
No, it was Nitro.
Nitro won. What about
Junior was OTK?
That was a freaking photo finish.
That was a badass.
That was a badass race. It was OTK. Oh my gosh, the neon color card that like.
No, it was a red speed for Eli.
Yeah, he was up there, but the comp cart was up in the front too. That's what the battle was. Yeah. It was a European battle, I think.
Yeah, and Junior was really close. Light was Burrell.
Burrell, VLR, Burrell, VLR, MGM, OTK. Medium was what? Medium was OTK.
And heavy
Merlin,
was MGM.
CRG. Like all those. Heavy was what? Coyote, CRG, not CRG. MGM, and then who else was up there for that? Comet.
What prepare?
I don't know whatever Gary Larson's on now, probably on his own chassis that he hasn't released yet. That's just me talking shit, speculation.
Lawson chassis 2023.
Yeah,
we got it from Paul.
Yeah,
it's an MGM repainted.
It'd be like the EOS and all that from OTK.
That's what it is. And then Masters was and then Legends was Coyote, CRG, and OTK. So you're right.
Perkins. What was Perkins in? Perkins
CRG
still
on Legends.
Old Red, right?
Old Red was in Masters and didn't do too well.
Oh,
I know the only chassis that wasn't up in the front was Margay.
Oh,
I know.
There was only like, to be fair, there was only like 4 of them on property.
Poor Jeff.
Because it wasn't an Ignite. It wasn't an Ignite series, okay?
There was
Oh
only
yeah,
there was
That's
only
true.
4.
Old Red, which is a 19. You guys understand when we talk about Old Red's older than most drivers out there. It's a 1999 chassis.
Yeah.
Still running strong.
I thought it was
That
Hey,
that
how-
runs
97.
strong.
It
And
was
then
Hey, how come-
Jeff
97.
Rivas, not Jeff Rivas.
Yep,
He was on Margay at the beginning of the week.
And
He
then he
was.
destroyed it.
he was.
Yeah,
Poor guy.
Jeff. Hey, I felt bad.
we
The
love
only-
you, man, but I'm joking.
Yeah,
I'm
Jeff, I
joking.
felt bad.
But it looked like that, like a broken arm, like oh, my
Yeah.
elbow's
The
You
only-
look like Nemo.
barely.
Now the cool thing about it, I gotta give this the cool thing about Barry and the mechanics at Coyote threw a chassis together. It was like it's basically bare frame, and they threw a chassis together so Jeff could keep racing. So that was pretty badass on their part.
That was a really cool story. He rolls up to the grid in his brand new cart. He was so excited.
He just rolled up to it, man, and man, it was just crazy. I just want to highlight that's the 206 community.
Absolutely.
Right, a different competitor team helped out an individual to drive up from Florida. The money spent this weekend, it ain't high dollar budget sponsorship teams. This is out the back racing, grassroots, jacked up, a freak accent. Chassis was done for the weekend. Competitor team
Done
threw
forever.
a chassis together, put it together, and got him back on track so you can just have fun this weekend. It just but do you see that in two-stroke racing?
Nope.
No. No.
Hell no.
And I
You
got
couldn't even
to
ask for brake clean from one of those fuckers.
was there any two-stroke drivers that won this weekend? No. It doesn't slip. I like this. All right. The two-stroke drivers showing up to the sport, it doesn't
Here goes the
solidify.
Facebook pages.
It doesn't
Bling, bling,
it
bling,
doesn't
bling,
solidify
bling, bling.
the 206 sport. All right. Your drivers is like basically Kimi Räikkönen showing up to
In
NASCAR.
NASCAR.
Yeah.
And thinking he's gonna be fast. No, he even knows he's not gonna be up there fast. Yeah, they can run up front. Don't get me wrong. These guys were running up front. They were quick.
But how?
They weren't gonna win.
Yeah, but the time
they weren't gonna win, all right.
Yeah, but the time you put them on there with the Collins and the Dillons and all these guys that have been driving 206 their whole life, there is a difference between heat number 1 and the final, right? A huge difference.
And you gotta see they're driving,
all.
they're passing. Look at
Yep.
okay, I just gotta say one thing. I don't want to say names, but the 901 Maryland, right? He pulled away. Big gap, dude. Guy was quick. Can't take anything away from that guy. That guy was freaking fast. I'm not picking on him just because he's a bad driver or anything. I don't want you to think that he probably won't see her till who gives a shit.
He ain't watching.
Yeah, he's not a bad driver. He made dumb decisions towards the end of the race because he thought he was in a two-stroke. He would make passes right back. He would just want to attack the elite. You don't have the horsepower, all right? You gotta be smooth, fast, and smart. And he brought the pack back. Him and the other guy could just pull away and finish 1-2, no problem. If you just sat behind him.
And it's all in a different driving style too. Two-stroke drivers attack to the apex. They drive to attack to the apex.
Yeah.
Every 206 driver, you're racing from the apex off.
Yep.
And that's why there's so many people holding the outside, getting shoved off on track on an exit. Like that is what it is.
Hold the outside there.
Like
I don't know how they did it.
Go around.
I know if you're on the outside of me in the finals, I apologize now.
Like, and that's what it comes down to. Like a lot of the 206 guys, they know that they can go past into a corner, but if you don't get the run on exit, it doesn't matter. And a lot of the two-stroke drivers rely on the power to carry them through the corners and drive off. So going down to the four-stroke, it evens the playing field because yes, these two-stroke guys have the confidence to go dive bomb a corner and drive into the apex, but they're four strokes at the end of the day and they don't have the bottom end to drive out of a corner, so they can attack it and then they just get dragged on exit and get freight trained. Like that's what it was.
By 6 carts. Yeah, like the attack and all of a sudden done. 6 carts gone.
I love that event for that one reason. It just made you a better driver. It made you realize what you really actually needed to do. In between 5 carts to 60 carts, like the event makes you a better driver. It realizes how big of a fucking Mark Martin I had been driving until I finally went up there and said, Jesus, no wonder these guys that race Grands, when they come back to Florida, they are just like on it. You know what I mean? Like it's battling for every lap, but it's as much of a shit show as sometimes can be. Just going up one time will make you a better driver.
Yeah,
Not just
just the
1,000 times
experience.
better. And I learned every time I go out there. This year, what I learned is
Yeah.
what may work for you does not work for me, and that's what my biggest issue. My biggest issue. I know my biggest issue is when I'm struggling, I go look. I'm like, oh well, he's right there, and I try it, and I was like, what's not work? What I gotta do what works for me, like my body type, my this, my me, right? I gotta get in the seat and do it for me. So I just put what I thought was going to work, and it worked. And I was like, okay, this is just what I need. This is what the chassis needs from me, right? It made me 1,000 times better. Driving this weekend, I picked up so much, and then just learned a lot about what needs to work for me. And I tried Thursday. Thursday, I was struggling a little bit, but I found the setup Friday morning, and I minute things after that Friday.
Yeah.
I mean, I tried some caster stuff, but other than that,
and for me, I learned like tuning a 4-stroke OTK is completely backwards in tuning a 2-stroke OTK. Like I was throwing stuff at it that you would normally throw at a 2-stroke, throwing neutral pills, dropping ride height. Like you can ask Jorge. Every time I came off the track, I was thrashing.
It looked like me on the TV.
Like I was thrashing every section, trying to change something to try to make it work.
And then he found it. When did you find it? Saturday or
Saturday afternoon?
Saturday afternoon, he dropped like a second and a half. He was like running really high in the pack. Like last.
At least it wasn't Sunday finals.
And the LCQ. Well, yeah, the thing is, he got stuck in the LCQ. But then he had the speed in the LCQ and then got butt raced. I got set full mode. Oh, I cannot believe you got ass raced.
Matt, are you gonna race medium down at SSKC, or are you gonna just do
come
heavy?
out the heavy so I can kill you in heavy?
Nope. I'll announce it right now. I'm running senior at SSKC Homestead. So
yay, you can push me to the championship.
I'm going for the win, man. If so,
I'll drive you like Jorge did. I don't give a fuck. You guys are still friends. I still got a place in Tallahassee, right?
No.
Dude,
No.
You're going to the barricade.
I don't get along with Matt, and Matt drives like me. I hate him.
Hey, it's funny. That shit happened in December, and then CKNA and Monticello was not too far afterwards, and Jorge stayed at your place. He's such an opportunity. You got to watch out this guy. He would put a hit. He would stab you in the back and then give you a hug, too. Like, man. Like,
he's doing it.
Hey, I got to say, in Monticello, we worked so well together. We're gonna win that race.
We would have won that shit.
We would have won that race. But
Jorge was stabbing the back, saying, "Ooh, I have a medic bag. You all right?"
Tourniquet.
I don't know what happened.
I'm here. I got it.
He'll be like, "You dumbass! You stabbed yourself."
Oh man,
how do you make you feel dumb about it?
I just can't wait to get back on track already. I just got back and I just can't wait.
Are you gonna race on the 23rd and 22nd?
Where
no,
Jacksonville, right?
Andre didn't drop the weight, man. I can only get down to like with no weight, no nothing, like 378.
You're not going?
Well, I mean, if I go, I'll be a tuner.
No, not for me, motherfucker. Not for me. I was gonna say you want to go, but it was not for you to touch my goddamn cart.
I mean, I'll go if they because I know the money class is gonna be 365. So there's or 22nd, 23rd in Orlando. It's $1,000. That's the purse.
No, it's 500 to win.
Yeah, but
it's point series. It's point series.
Yeah, but when you sweep it, right, you're gonna win $1,000.
No.
Wait, what happened? Wait a minute.
You got to race Saturday and Sunday.
It's 1,000 total.
Yeah.
500 for the winner. Like
300 for second, 200 for third
for both weekends.
But
for both.
Yeah, Saturday and Sunday
from both.
What's the entry fee? How much is the entry fee?
$100 $100 a day.
So
Saturday and Sunday.
So 200 goes on entry fee. Plus you need tires.
So worst case scenario, you finish third, you break even.
No, you need tires. You need a winner to break even.
You don't need tires.
I'll bring that tire piss. They call it goat piss. In dirt racing, they call it goat piss.
Hey, that's the best thing. If you rush up with a goat, nobody's going to know why.
If you need a tire man, I know a tire man.
If I'm like this with a goat, come on, give me some piss.
You're jerking it off. That's the best goat.
They're gonna take this
Real-
shit down.
Real
What?
quick for the first
Hey.
lap.
Hey, first lap, that's cars
Yeah.
on two
Man, you're
wheels.
two-wheeling it. No, I mean I have a great tire.
Too much grip.
What do you think I was so fast in Scott's cart? I brought my own tire guy.
You're not gonna go. I mean,
That's
I thought
dirt
about it
racing,
'cause it's
people.
like-
Dirt racing.
Yeah, dirt racing.
I'm not good enough
But
to
yeah,
be called
it's
a
like-
cheater.
I know. I have.
I'm not even
You
good.
fucking hate
Miguel's
it.
been called cheater.
Yeah, he
This
has.
isn't fair. This isn't fair. Okay, I want to be called. I need to get to that level. Everybody complain like, "No, I can't believe that you call me a cheater." Bitch, I want to get there. I want to get so fast. I want to get so fast. People are like, dude, Jorge has to be cheating. I'm gonna be like, I'm gonna come on. You're gonna see me in tears when someone goes, "You're
I
cheating."
mean,
I'm like, yes,
it was
yes.
so badass when you can whip out the rule book and you can show them exactly what you're doing, and they're like,
Oh, guess you're not cheating.
Okay, you're good.
Yeah, that's true. I need
My
to
favorite is
Legend.
when you gap a field and they like want to throw your motor in a box and tear it apart, and you just go, okay, go ahead. Have
Yeah,
fun.
you can keep it. Just
You
make sure you give me
better,
another one.
pay for my rebuild. That's why I tell them, you want to break it down all the way for a local, you're paying for the rebuild. That's what they start doing, like in dirt racing, you can pay for the breakdown.
Yeah,
And if you
want to spend
if you
money, break it
lose,
down. Yeah, if you want to spend money,
Yeah.
give me the money. Just spend me.
you're gonna give me $400 for breaking
Yeah.
that bitch down.
You know what?
Plus the shipping handling.
And
I'll
like I
drop
would put the
engines.
money on it too. You're gonna pay for the breakdown, cool. If you break it down, you pay to break it down, and if it's legal, I keep the money. If it's illegal,
Exactly.
have it back.
Done
Hey,
deal.
that's a
Yep.
good idea. That's a good idea.
Yep.
That's true. If you,
If
wanna
you think it's
question the motor,
illegal, pay
for
the
it.
fucking money to break it down.
Yeah, break it down.
And
Here,
if
hand me the money.
if you're
I
right,
win, I keep it.
if you're right, you only get that person DQ'd and you keep your money. But if you're wrong,
can we do that in SSKC? Because if I win heavy,
Isn't there a claim class?
I think that was back in the day.
You can claim the motor. You can claim the motor in SSKC. It's $1,000. No.
No, that was like rock.
Oh, that's cheap.
Yeah, this day it'd be easier just to start
That's
claiming
cheap.
motors. It's just
Yeah. I'm claiming it. Mine.
Yeah,
Yours, mine.
yeah.
So
I
with-
got checks.
you
I'm
you
hitting
claim
everybody a
it
check
and then
'cause
put it
that
on
shit's gonna
Facebook
bounce.
Marketplace. That's what Jorge would do. Jorge would claim it, pay the $1,000, keep the motor, and on the way home, put it on Facebook Marketplace and sell it for $1,400.
Dude, I won't even
Not
pay.
that
I
much,
just give them a
but
check.
I am selling a
knowing that's
motor.
gonna
If you
bounce.
guys want a motor, I am selling an
Oh.
engine. It's
So-
not mine. I'm selling it for somebody.
Who did you run this weekend, Jorge?
I ran AEM.
Matt.
Faithful to Stewart, Howard
Okay.
Stewart.
Cool. Yeah. So
Hey, that
I'm
coastal
not
metal. What's up with
faithful.
that?
Hmm?
Yeah, you want to give
What's
a
that
shout out to
Coastal
Coastal
Metal?
Metal?
Yeah, without a sponsor or
Yeah. So I picked up a sponsor. Coaching my new kid, a new kid named Chase. He's bad fast. We're gonna be doing some traveling. We'll be in Orlando for the doubleheader. He'll be running 206 junior. So
Okay, thank God.
yeah, he's a young buck,
That's senior. That's senior.
not
Well,
senior.
less to worry about.
We're getting him up to speed, and I got to thank Coastal Metal for supporting me this weekend and helping me get up there. Supported myself and Jordan Perry for running up at Grands, and we got a lot of exciting stuff to come. We're going to be hitting a Daytona Kart Week here in December. So
Me too. That's gonna be fun. Hell yeah, that's good to hear, man. Good job.
yeah, man.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Congrats.
Yeah, we're excited for what's to come. We got some two-stroke stuff coming here very soon, so I'm very excited for that.
that's good. So on that note, I think Jorge has to go to work.
Yes, I
Miguel
do.
has some more beer drinking to do.
I-
And Matt hasn't even made it home from work yet.
Two.
So
I'm still
Uh,
here.
yeah,
Hey,
his
is that a
boss is gonna
ponytail?
email him. Hey, so if your boss emails you that you were on a podcast while at work, that means we're going viral. That's a good thing. Take
I
that as
think
a
Matt is the
positive.
boss.
Hmm?
Isn't Matt? I think Matt is the boss.
I'm the product manager. Yeah, I'm that
Kind
guy.
of hard to email himself.
Yeah, you never know. Anyway, so with that said, don't forget your goal should always be to be so fast that everybody thinks you're cheating. So that's a good nugget. And we just wanted to thank you guys for all those watching so far. Please make sure you subscribe to the channel. It's very important for all of us. Subscribe here, Jam Racing. Matt, you have a channel as well, correct?
No.
No.
I'm gonna be posting videos here soon of all the wrecks I got into this weekend.
Do follow him on Instagram. What's your Instagram handle?
It's Matt Del Sol Racing.
There you go.
On my
Easy
Instagram,
enough.
need some driver coaching in the Homestead area. Hit up Matt, Orlando
Or
area.
Florida in
Matt.
general, since I'm driving all over the place. Whatever you need.
Florida in general, if you need some driver coaching, hit him up. He is a great guy.
Yep. You want to hang out and go
definitely very
drinking or
knowledgeable.
hunting? Get with Miguel. It'll be a good time.
Well,
Yeah,
Jorge
Miguel's
will
in
tell you
hunting.
we were a party this week.
What?
Yeah, we were the tent to be in.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Well, when is it now? When are we
I
now?
drank a lot of beer.
We drank a lot of beer.
Everybody,
We had a
everybody
lot
else is
of
underage
really
over there. You
big-
guys were the old fucks of the place.
That's
Legends
the
already went
thing.
to bed by the time you guys started drinking.
Dude, even Marshall was out late.
Marshall
Like,
was out
Really?
late.
Even out
We
for late
were-
for him.
Dude,
And
Dang.
the food, Marcelo's food.
Picanha.
Yeah.
The picanha. I saw the pictures of the picanha. I was
yeah.
like, oh my
Picanha
god.
was the
Stuart
picanha
got
was on
in
the
that.
grill.
Stuart got
Stewart
in that
went over
stuff.
the weight scales at 4:30.
Listen, to put in perspective, we had Brandon Eves, Aaron from Kart Chaser, all the boys
yeah,
rolled up to our tent. We're hanging out, eating
that
picanha.
was Saturday night. It was packed.
Dude, our tent was filled with people. And we
Packed.
were right next to the grid. Everyone came up. We had music blasting. The boys and I were wearing our Bud Light Seltzer cowboy hats, having a
The
fucking
light seltzer.
It's
Oh,
like
I'm gonna
White
send,
Claw.
I'm gonna
It's like
send you
White
the
Claw
photo,
here.
Miguel. I'm gonna send you the photo. It was we had a
You
nice
know,
barbecue.
Cal is having a pride event. If you're interested, I saw it. I don't know why I sent it on my Facebook, but it's something about pride on Ocala. Now we're lose subscribers.
But yeah, I'm gonna send you this photo. But yeah, no, we
Bud
had a
Light
blast.
seltzer. You lost me on that. Unless you're drinking Busch Light or Miller now. Now I'm making a little bit more money, so I've been buying Miller.
Well, I drink Miller Lite, but we found these cowboy hats on Walmart clearance in like right near the track in Newcastle. We walked into a Taco Bell and the chick's like, I saw those at the clearance section. I'm like, yes, ma'am, you did. And it was the talk. We stood right on the benches right next to the grid with our cowboy hats, and everyone from CKNA loved us. So
wait till Homestead when my get up is for Homestead. Shoo! I'll just
I'm
be
gonna
ready
wear
for it.
freaking jean overalls with no shirt underneath, and then he's gonna put a helmet on. He's like, I'm going to race.
We're bringing
I
the
mean,
mullet
that's not
back?
bad. The jean overalls with a cutoff.
Oh,
What is
there
that?
it is.
Is
There
that the
it
photo?
Yeah, we
You look-
were.
You look
I saw the
majestic
photo
that
come in,
weekend.
but
You look majestic.
It was a great time.
yeah, it's
There
gonna
we
be
go.
good. But I want to be serious though at Homestead. But yeah, you know, I gotta
Serious.
have a fun.
Yeah, we're gonna be
Catch
serious.
you guys
all
on
right.
track. I'm
All
out.
right, guys. Thank you, and we'll see you guys next time.
Later.
See ya.